You are live.
I'm live. I hope I'm alive. Check my pulse. Is my pulse alive? We've got a different setup today, a little bit less techy because we're still running behind and everything. But we're here.
We are indeed. Are you here? I don't see anybody on.
Nobody else is here. That's okay. They'll be here in the future. So we are just a few minutes away from actually starting the podcast, and yeah.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
It is.
What did we call this podcast? This episode is
Cruising
is back. Not front.
Back.
Cruising is indeed back.
Texas Wildcat says hello.
Hello. Trying to see the picture if I can identify who it is from the picture. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I know this is a little bit impromptu because we weren't able to go last night. We had really harsh lightning storms, and also we just weren't ready. My mom left on Wednesday morning, and so then we worked Wednesday, Thursday, and yesterday, and we just hadn't had a lot of time to get things together and stuff. So, but we're here now.
Yeah,
we are here, and look, I'm very shadowy, like a shadowy figure.
I don't know how to fix that.
It's all right. I think we'll be okay.
This is our back to the beginning kind of podcast where we started with a phone as a camera.
Yeah. Yep.
The cruising is definitely back. I was one adventure last week and Celebrity Summit in 2 weeks.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. You were on Adventure of the Sea. That's amazing. And you got another one in 2 weeks?
That's cool.
Wish I was you.
I'm jealous. I think we're at, what, 83 days
something like that. I tell you, but it's on my phone, which is currently being used as a camera. So I can't do that. Look, we're going to officially start the podcast in just a couple of minutes. And when we do that, normally we don't interact a whole lot with the chat, but we may do it a little bit more this week. We've got some things we want to talk about, but we don't have a major agenda for this episode. So it's going to be a little more casual, a little more maybe communication with you guys. So if you are joining us here, thank you so much. We may be asking you guys to ask us questions, tell us information. Yeah, if you've just been on a cruise, then that's very, very awesome. So, yeah.
We're both wearing yellow.
I'm wearing more than you.
Well, yeah, but I've got yellow on my shirt.
That's true.
I just noticed it because I was looking at
us. There you go. I could take this off and then I'm less shadowy, but then because that looks weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's
not a good look. Okay.
It's fine. All right. Well, we've got 1 minute. Are you about ready?
I think so. Oh, yeah, I think so.
Get all your yawns out?
Yes.
All right. Hopefully more people will jump on and join us. Somebody says hi. That's on Facebook. It says Facebook user, so I'm sorry. I don't know who you are, but hello.
Hello to you.
Let us know who you are, or in the description of the video, it says click here to allow Facebook and StreamYard to work together. So.
Hey, there's Austin, who is now not just a friend, but a coworker. I can say that now.
Wow, 7 more cruises in 2021.
Dude, that is amazing.
Yeah.
And then you got some cruise credits, future cruise credits to use. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
that's awesome. Yeah. I mean, we don't have enough.
Facebook user is Stanley. Hello.
Oh, hey, Stanley.
Welcome.
We don't have enough time to take off work to do that, or else I would love to do that.
All right, it's time. Are you ready?
Here we go. We're going to officially start the podcast. Officially start the podcast.
Come with me. We're going on a Fintastic cruise. Pick your destination with news, tips, and reviews. But here is an item you might not have thought of. All of the things under the water. Nature surrounds us with elegant features. You can't go on a cruise and not see the creatures. So let's make some magic. Let's get ecstatic. Instantly classic. Maybe romantic. The wildlife around you. Cinematic on your Fintastic cruise.
everybody.
No.
Am I? Oh, take two. Bon Beanie, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Fintastic Cruising. I'm Matt.
And I'm Kimbra.
And welcome to this glorious Saturday when we are filming, when we are recording this episode of Fintastic Cruising 96, I believe.
Yes, 96.
Episode 96. We've got a lot of fun people in the chat. G'day to David Burgess, who just joined us there, and Texas Wildcat, who's just telling us while we were waiting for the podcast to start that he was on the cruise a couple weeks ago or last week. And has another one in a couple weeks, and he's got like
7 more.
7 more in 2021. Wow, that is spectacular.
Yeah.
We got Stanley here. Look, we're just going to be honest with you. We're not super prepared. We're still recuperating from a very long and fun mom visit, which is not a down on that at all. Just we were busy, and then we had to go right back to work and start doing that.
And then suddenly it was time to do the podcast, and we weren't ready.
And last night, when we normally record on Friday nights, but we had a wicked, it's like I'm from Boston. We had a wicked storm. I can't do it. And it was lots of lightning, and plus we weren't prepared. So who am I kidding? We weren't prepared. So here we are today, and we got a few things to cover, but we are going to be interacting with the chat more than normal because we don't have a ton of stuff to cover. We don't have really a main topic either.
I thought they were called the live studio audience.
They are the live studio audience.
You just keep saying chat, and I feel like we need to make them officially the live studio audience.
They are the alive live studio audience. And Dave just started a 2-week lockdown from last night over in Australia. That doesn't sound good, Dave. We're getting out of lockdowns here. Like, we're pretty much mask-free in Florida unless you're in certain scenarios and situations and stuff like that. I don't know. It's going to all turn out hopefully good. That's one of the things we're going to talk about a little bit on the podcast today, whenever you're listening to it, is about how that's been shaken out with the cruising and the COVID and all that fun stuff. But so what do we want to start with here?
You want to start with the news?
Yeah, I mean that's mostly what we got, right? Which news would you like to start with?
Let's pull up my notes and see what I wrote down for the news.
Well, what the big news, obviously, because it's 6:04.
I was gonna say, let's talk about what's happening right now at this moment.
Breaking news! If you're actually live with us here in our live studio audience, but if you're listening in the future, it won't be live. But anyway, what is it, Kendra?
The Celebrity Edge is sailing away from the U.S. on its first official cruise back at this moment.
That's right. Cruising from the United States is happening.
It is back.
Right now. Not just from North America. We won't get into what North America is again. That was last week. But it is happening. Right now, there are people on a cruise ship that left out of, Fort Lauderdale?
Yes.
And they're sailing. I'm assuming they were supposed to leave at 6.
Yes.
So if my clock over there says it's 6:05.
So here's what I'm guessing. Adam is not on here, which means I know he's there, but he's not on here. So that means it's probably because he's watching that ship.
Maybe he'll tune in and give us the update.
I'm hoping he will.
But look, this is great news because I know there's a lot of politics and stupid stuff going on that's not being helpful to cruising, no matter where you fall on that. But it's sailing. It's sailing, right? Like nothing came out today in the news that said it wasn't going to happen.
Stacy said he's watching the webcam. It's pushing.
There you go. Thank you, Stacy. Yes, pushing away from the dock as we speak. Cruising is back.
It's happening.
So that is that's it.
That's huge.
I mean,
news.
Drop the microphone. Podcast over, right? That's like, how can we top that? After 5 years of no cruising, that's just what it feels like. It's 5 years.
Like a year and 3 months.
A year and 3 months, or whatever. Is that what it is? A year and 3 months? You got that down to the science? I don't do that kind of cruise countdown because it's too depressing.
Mid-March, March 13th, 2020.
Wow, that's sad. But no longer because we're back. We're baby steps, but we're back.
We're back.
So that is, not only is that exciting for the cruise community and just people that want to cruise, and of course, more importantly, for the industry and many people that depend on cruising for their livelihood. But it's also really good news for us, because if cruising is happening at the end of June, then our September cruise is looking really promising.
83 days.
83 days. Episode 96 and 83 days till we cruise. Those won't sync up at any point. Well, no, they probably won't. That's not how math works, Matt. But anyway, we are going to be excited to be on that cruise ship. We cannot wait. Cannot wait. And like we said, we got somebody here from Texas, and I don't know the name exactly, but they were on a cruise ship last week, and they're getting another one. A lot of people were on a cruise ship in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Just not out of the United States, but still in the Caribbean, because Royal Caribbean has been sailing out of Nassau. And I don't know, is a ship left out of any of the other Caribbean islands? Did that happen? I'm not sure if that actually happens. Anybody know in the live studio audience?
I didn't do that research. Remember
that
the whole
happened?
preparedness thing?
Yeah, that we're not. That's that thing that we're not tonight is prepared.
Yeah.
No Boy Scout badge for me today. But yeah. So I know we talked about this last week. There were a bunch of people cruising out of Nassau, and look, it has not been easy. There have been cases of coronavirus on the cruise ships. Like I know the one Royal Caribbean ship is had to delay because some of the crew had coronavirus, and they hadn't been vaccinated all the way.
Odyssey of the Seas. Well, they were vaccinated, but they weren't past the 14 days or 2 weeks that you have to wait until afterwards to be fully vaccinated. So I think it was 7 or 8 of the crew had tested positive. So those sailings have been delayed a little bit. I think they were supposed to come back at the beginning of July, and I think it's probably now going to be the end of July. But as far as I know, none of them were bad cases. It was just that they tested positive.
And that's the good side of this, is that there have been some people that have tested positive. Unfortunately, there were some younger kids who were in that age where they couldn't get vaccinated, and they tested positive. But we didn't know what was going to happen. If somebody tests positive, it's going to ruin the cruise for everybody. Obviously, we're more concerned about the health overall, but the kids, I think, as far as I know, they've been fine. They did okay.
What I read was that one of them was asymptomatic. The other one had very mild symptoms. They were in the same family. They were both under 16. They were not able to be vaccinated yet, so they were part of the 8% on the ship that were unvaccinated. The 2 kids, the family, and whoever else was in that group was flown back by the cruise line to Florida from Nassau.
So that's the key too, right?
On a private plane.
So that's the key, because we have so many unanswered questions right now, as to when we're going to be able to cruise, and how it's going to happen, and what are the rules going to be, and all this stuff. But the other side of that we didn't know the answer to is, obviously, there's going to be coronavirus is going to happen on the cruise ship. So what happens when it does happen? Is everything going to be pulled back? Are they going to pull the reins back? And no, it sounds like the cruise lines have a plan. They executed the plan. Things seem to be being handled very successfully. So that's good. That's really good, because let's be realistic. I mean, I don't think cruises are going to be more dangerous than any other thing necessarily for coronavirus, but something's gonna happen. I mean, people could get sick. We were at Universal Studios last week. There were a lot of people there. I'm sure there were cases of coronavirus passed on Universal Studios, but it doesn't get the media attention. It doesn't get the threats of being shut down. Sounds like, though, they've got it under control.
But I don't think, as cruises start to come back, I find it very not possible that the cruise ship is going to pay for everyone that tests positive to fly back.
No, but I don't think there's going to be a lot of cases of people testing positive.
I mean, hopefully not. But in this situation, the cruise line paid for them to fly back.
They did.
I just don't want that may not continue, because you said that, and then you said they have a plan, and I don't think that is the forever plan.
But they have a plan in the sense that they can make those arrangements to quarantine them. They can make those arrangements to get them back. Like there were some folks down in the Dominican Republic that tested positive for coronavirus, and they had a plan. It wasn't perfect. It
Yeah.
sounded like, but they had a plan for quarantining them. These things are being thought about. That's what needs to happen, so that it's not like a panic, like kind of like it got mismanaged so badly when this first all started,
Right.
and that ended up, I think, really hurting the cruise industry even more than it would have under just the normal situation. So that's, but I think it sounds promising. It sounds very promising, and that's the good thing.
Yeah.
And hopefully, by the time it gets to our cruise, it'll all be kind of, everything will be laid out. We'll know how everything works and all that sort of thing. Yeah. Did you see that Mama Kimbra was in? Mama Tammy, not Mama Kimbra. Mama Tammy was in the audience there.
I did see that. I didn't because you haven't stopped talking.
I'm sorry. I will not say anything.
Hi, Mom. Welcome.
She was down.
She was here. It was so much fun. I miss her already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, it was a long, hectic, busy week and a half.
It was a lot.
2 weeks.
But it was
not,
so much fun.
Yeah, it was totally fun. We had a lot of fun. And it was not we didn't want it to end, but we did need to recuperate from it and getting things back organized.
It was a nice vacation, and because it was kind of weird because we were still home for like the majority of it, but it actually felt like a vacation.
Yeah.
Even though we were home. Like, I know they say staycation, but it wasn't really, it didn't feel like a staycation.
It didn't. No, because we went to Tarpon Spring. We talked about all this last week.
Yeah.
We don't want to rehash all that again, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I see Dave Burgess is saying, yeah, it's good. He's glad to see U.S. cruises going again. Hopefully we'll get you guys in Oz sorted out. You guys can start moving around the planet again, because we need to see you guys, all of our Oz friends. And he made a comment that, yeah, this whole thing's, it's not going away completely. We're gonna just have to learn how to manage it. That's kind of where we're at, I think.
Yeah.
But we can do that. There's Griswold Family Vacay. Thank you for
Dan is also
us.
on. Hello, Dan.
Yeah, hey Dan, and Dan is happy that we are embracing the Kimbrat terminology. That's what it says. If you're listening, that's what it says in our little descriptor.
Tony's on. Hi, Tony.
Hey, Tony.
And Gina's listening because she's driving.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good. Don't watch us and drive.
Right.
Safety first.
I mean, there's not really much to watch. We're just sitting here and staring at a camera. So listening's fine. We are a podcast. Hold on. I just realized something that I had forgotten for a moment about your mother. About my mother?
Yeah. Let's just have a moment of sympathy for Tammy, because
like where she is? Because
right now she's 6 hours behind us, forced to have to watch us on the beach in Hawaii.
Yeah.
She left Florida, went to California. Now she's in Hawaii.
She did go back to Indiana for, I think, 2 days.
Okay, 2 days. Yeah, she was there for 2 days. But yes, have fun on that vacation.
Went to California for a few days, and then
really good.
Now she's in Hawaii for another week.
Aloha, we should have said.
Yes.
Aloha. I don't know why I did it with a subtle accent. What's the Hawaiian accent? I don't know. Is there one?
Aloha.
That just sounds American.
I know.
I don't know. And hello, Fred Miner's on there joining us. Like we said in the beginning, we're going to be a little more interactive this week because we're not super prepared.
Well, but we do have a couple other things that we can talk about.
We do?
So we talked about the Celebrity Edge that's heading out right now. Do you want to talk about some of the other cruises that are heading out in the next couple months?
Yeah, well, somebody actually asked us that when we posted that we were going to go live. They're like, hey, what cruises are going out?
Well, he specifically asked if Carnival would be putting out, or if we knew when they would be saying who is sailing and who won't be sailing coming fall. I don't have that information. But what I can tell you is...
Goodbye, Tammy.
No, she didn't say goodbye.
Oh, she didn't?
No.
Aloha is hello, goodbye. Oh, it's hello or goodbye.
And I love you.
And it's all those things?
Yeah.
Sorry, that was totally sidetracked.
Anyways.
Down the rabbit hole in Hawaii.
I don't even know what I was saying.
You're talking about Carnival ships that are going to be sailing.
I literally don't even know what was my sentence, though.
Anyway.
We know what's sailing like now.
We think, yes.
Well, unless something happens. Oh, she's running to her next adventure. Love you, Mother.
See, I told you I was right.
Okay. All right. So.
Okay. Yeah.
So what do we have here? So we have things that are sailing soon. So the Celebrity Edge is heading out right now. We have the Celebrity Equinox that is heading out from Port Everglades July 25th.
So 2 celebrity ships, which is part of Royal Caribbean.
Yep.
So Royal Caribbean is going.
Yep. The Odyssey of the Seas has been delayed. I don't have the date. It was supposed to go out July 3rd. I don't have their new information.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have from Port Canaveral on July 2nd, Freedom of the Seas.
Cool.
And from Miami on August 14th, Symphony of the Seas. And then we have on August 15th out of Miami, we have the Norwegian Gem.
Nice.
And out of Miami on August 2nd, we have the MSC Meraviglia.
So MSC, Norwegian, MSC, all going by. A lot of them starting in August. We're going to see, I think, just things ramping up as we get through June into August.
Nothing from Disney yet, but they are working on it.
It says something about a test cruise.
Well, yeah, but I don't, since things have changed, I don't know if that's valid anymore.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
I don't have anything from Disney. And then we have Allure of the Seas out of Port Canaveral August 8th, and Mariner of the Seas August 15th. The MSC Divina out of Port Canaveral on September 16th. And then Carnival is going out of Galveston on July 3rd with the Carnival Vista and the Breeze on July 15th.
So that's coming up pretty close.
Yeah.
July 3rd. That's this week.
Yep. So I know I'm just throwing all of these dates, but this just shows how much is coming up.
That ship is sailing.
Yes. And then we have out of Seattle for Alaska Cruises, July 19th, the Serenade of the Seas. And August 13th, Ovation of the Seas. Let's see, we have July 23rd, the Celebrity Summit.
It's another Alaska cruise.
It is.
So that's cool that Alaska's getting to go again. And I'll pause you for a second. Tony said that he was talking about there used to be a website, well, I think it still exists, where you could see like cams from the ships, but it's been rather quiet as of late. Maybe it's active again. I don't know. I haven't checked it.
So I actually have that saved as a tab at work. So when I have like that really awful person that I just got off the phone with, I click on it and choose one of the ports. You remember the video I sent you the other day of, I don't remember which port it was, but there was a ship sailing by.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that was from that.
Okay. So so thank you for that, Tony. The cams are active, and I know also didn't was somebody watching? Did you say somebody was like?
Huh?
Somebody watching a cam?
Yes. Stacy.
Stacy, yeah.
Yeah. Also Brian's on. Hi, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
All right. Let's see. Do you want me to keep going through these?
I mean, there's a lot of ships going. I don't know if we need to go through all of them.
That's all that's left, but that's fine. It's fine. You know what I don't see on here?
Our ship?
Yeah. The Carnival Horizon will be going out of Miami. I have no idea why that's not on this list.
Uh-oh.
But it's happening, and if it's not, it's happening. So.
Well, it might be because, it's got August, September, but technically we are sailing in the fall, I think.
Yes, but the Horizon is scheduled to start in July.
Oh, it's starting before that. That's true.
Yeah.
That's fair point. Hey, we got another person from Australia on here.
We got more?
Yeah. Hello, Robert. Says, "G'day from Sydney, Australia, in lockdown." Yeah, I know. We just heard that you guys were locked down again. So have time to pop in, enjoy your podcast. Well, thank you very much.
I love all the Australia people that listen and watch us. Right?
Like, I mean, everybody that knows me a little bit knows how much of an Australia fanatic I am. So, in fact, this morning, I had an egg sandwich. We both had egg sandwiches, but my egg sandwich had cheese and Vegemite on it. It was delicious. Yours just had cheese and
It had egg on
an
it.
egg. Well, yeah, it's an egg sandwich. That's like goes without saying. You can't have an egg sandwich without egg, right?
So I just
Port
wanna,
Everglades is live streaming the ship on its Facebook page.
Oh, cool.
Stacy said. Thank you, Stacy.
I do just want to point out, I know that Matt always talks about how much he loves Australia and that he belongs in Australia, but I also really like Australia. I'm just not as open about it. Mostly because I don't get a chance to talk.
That's true. Look.
Well, so like when I was, still living back near home, my mom likes to go on a lot of vacations, hence Hawaii. But I always told her the one place that she was not allowed to go without me was Australia. And if she ever goes to Australia, I better be sitting on the plane next to her. So I do love Australia. I don't want to steal your thunder, but it's also something I like.
No, I mean, no, that's, I mean, we have a lot in common. It's amazing because there are so many times when we are thinking about something. It could be anything. It could be like what we want to do or how we want to handle a situation or something like, and we will both simultaneously, out of the blue, like we weren't even talking about the situation, we'll both be like thinking about the same thing at the exact same time. So it doesn't surprise me that we have very synced up interest on the whole. There are only a few things that we are not pretty mentally in tune with each other on. But
are there?
There are a few.
Like spiders?
Spiders would be one of them.
Yeah.
I think spiders are cool, and you're terrified of them.
Yeah.
Music, where we have some crossover, but we have definitely some differences in music.
You like scary movies?
I love horror movies. Yeah, you're not a fan
No.
of the horror movie, but but for the most part, we sync up.
Yeah.
On the whole.
Well, and we were talking earlier about like past jobs that we've had. Like you worked at a zoo.
Similar career paths.
I worked at a zoo.
Pet store.
Aquarium.
Zoo. Yeah. You didn't work at a science center though. I worked at a science center for almost 10 years.
You're more than 10 years older than me.
Whatever.
I haven't.
So you're gonna work at a science center?
I haven't had my opportunity to work at a science center yet.
Okay, that works.
Okay. All right.
Dave says I know more about Oz than he does. I doubt it, Dave. I probably know a lot less about Australia than I think I do, is my guess, because I've never really been there, so I can only go by what I know from people I meet and what I see in the movies, which is probably mostly not true. So I know a lot about that, some of the animal life over there. And Stacy says Matt knows more about everything than I do. That is definitely not true, Stacy. I am not knowledgeable about many things, so including moose.
Oh, moose that dive. Yeah,
Tony Dials posted a post in Fintastic Cruising community over on Facebook about it was a funny cartoon about a moose underwater and then an orca eats it, and then it turns out that that's a thing that happens because apparently moose I don't even know if is it mooses, is it meese, I don't know. Moose eye, I don't know, but apparently they can dive down 20 feet to get like plants and stuff from the under the water, and then orcas occasionally eat them. I've read that like Greenland sharks and stuff have been found with moose in their stomachs, but I always assumed that that's because the moose died and ended up in the water, but that's crazy.
Died.
Yeah, and then Tony was like, "Can you imagine like scuba diving and a moose swims by?" No. I can't.
That would be so cool.
I don't know about that. Like moose, I guess underwater they wouldn't be that threatening. But on land, like moose are one of the most dangerous animals in North America. Like you might be afraid of spiders, but you have way more to be afraid of in the case of the moose. It's not all like Rocky and Bullwinkle out there. But also, if I was diving somewhere where a moose swam by, I would be in really cold water.
Oh, that's true. I don't want to do that.
I mean, I would do it if I could see something really cool. I would do it, but it had to be really, really cool.
Robert wants to house swap so they can go on a cruise because their summer season isn't going to happen.
Oh yeah. Well, you guys are in winter now. You're going into winter.
Yeah,
but
they can come here and we'll go to Australia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if I can travel around bits of Australia, I would be happy for quite a while.
Right.
I mean, of course, I would miss cruising, but I would be satiated by being in Australia, I think.
Yeah. So we do still have some more cruise news from Carnival.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You good to talk about that?
About the new ships?
So Carnival has announced some new ships. Yes, about the new ships.
Tell us about those new ships.
So we knew about the Celebration, which is scheduled to arrive at the end of 2023. But they have just... Oh, that's cool. Stacy says, sorry, this is totally off subject. But Stacy said that they just zoomed in on the bridge of the Celebrity Edge and they could see the captain.
That's cool.
Which is
Captain
really cool.
Kate.
Captain Kate. So the Celebration, and then they are also getting 2 more ships. One of them is from Carnival's sister company, Costa. It was the Costa Magica. It's a 16-year-old ship. It is a similar class to the Sunshine class, so it's going to be the same kind of look and feel. It's going through dry dock, so it's going to be kind of turned into the Carnival ship. So that ship is coming mid-2022. And then there is another ship that was originally supposed to be built for Ada, which is another sister company under Carnival Corporation.
German one.
Yes. And it is going to be an XL class. It's going to be actually a sister ship of Celebration. So, and it's going to come at the end of 2022.
Right. So 3 new ships.
Yes.
In the next couple years or
the
so.
2 new ones announced don't have names yet. At least if they do, I couldn't find it, and honestly, I didn't search that hard for it. But I didn't find it. So I know that those 2 ships are coming, and I know that little bit of background about them. So that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I don't know. How do you guys out there feel about XL class? Like, like we
because
have,
it's not called the Mardi
like
Gras
Vista class, and like what? I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I guess they're trying to distinguish it from the other ships, but do you really need to do that? Like, it's people that have seen the Mardi Gras, they're like, this is not like your normal big carnival ship. This is like a mega ship.
Well, but that's why they call it XL.
I know, but I don't know. It just XL sounds like a shirt size. It doesn't sound like, I mean,
it's weird because the ships are typically called whatever the first is. Like, not just on Carnival, but on all the cruise lines. And yeah, Carnival just was like, hey, let's be different.
Let's be different. Yeah. I mean, whatever. It's not going to keep me from sailing.
How about
I refuse to sail on the Mardi Gras XL.
How about their new paint job?
That's cool.
Yeah, their new paint job is really cool.
If you haven't seen that, they did some of their older ships too. They're putting like blue on the bow, and that looks pretty awesome. Dave Burgess is ready to duct tape himself to a shipping container, just to anything to get him out on the ocean.
We have some kayaks.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Dave, do they have here in Florida, you can go on little boat trips out into Tampa Bay or the Gulf of Mexico. Do they have little things like that happening right now? I guess not, if you're totally locked back down again. I think that's because they don't have vaccines over there. I hope they get you guys those vaccines soon. Things changed here pretty rapidly once we started getting the vaccines.
Oh. So I guess John, is it Heald?
John Heald
said the Costa Magica is going to be more like the Conquest. Others mentioned the Sunshine as well, but he said Conquest.
Okay.
I
would trust John Heald.
Yeah, that's cool. The article I read said that it was built the same as the Sunshine, but that doesn't mean anything because that's just what I read.
Yeah, and I think those ships are kind of similar, at least in size and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
it's just over 2,000 passengers.
Yeah. So that's the nice thing is that's a nice number of passengers.
It's one of those smaller
not
ships.
Too many.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Tony says he actually thinks that the other class names can be confusing because they don't explain the sizes. He can't wait to go on an XL ship. Thinks it sounds grand. Like XL makes it sound big. But what are they going to call it when they come out with bigger ones? 2XL? Like XXL? It's starting to sound like a porn movie at some point.
There's a song called Double XL. Have you heard that song?
No, I have not.
I'm going to have to play that song for you later. Robert said, riding the Sydney ferry is my only way to get into the water.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Let's see. Stacey said John might be confused. Several people mentioned on this page that it was like the sunshine. Who knows?
We'll have to look more into it. But the cool thing is it's more ships coming to Carnival. I mean, Carnival obviously lost some ships because of this whole COVID thing, and now they're rebuilding the fleet, and faster than just actually literally rebuilding the fleet. Now, unfortunately, that means robbing Peter to pay Paul, or in this case, robbing Costa and Ada to pay Carnival. But I mean, I'll be a little selfish American here. I don't sail on Costa or Ada, so go Carnival. I don't know. Maybe that's not very nice of me, but.
Austin says he's curious about experiences with Carnival and Disney versus others, since it seems they have more kids and shenanigans, and he's mostly done Norwegian.
Okay, I thought Austin. I thought you had done Disney. I guess. So Austin got married at Disney World. I was at that wedding. It was magical. It was very nice, and I know he's gone on a few cruises. I think he's been to Alaska, and I think he's done some Caribbean stuff. But yeah, so Norwegian is probably a little bit different scene, but I can tell you from sailing on a lot of Carnival ships that I've sailed on some with kids, some with less kids, but the kids have never been like a problem. They've never been annoying or a nuisance. And yes, I work with kids, but that makes me even more sensitive to it when I'm on vacation. I'm like, get those kids away from me. But the kids that have been problems on cruises for me, and it's been minor problems, have been like the late teens, early 20s, which are kind of not kids anymore, that have caused some issues, but nothing major.
Yeah.
Disney, now that one I don't know because I haven't been on it. Supposedly, and I don't doubt this because Disney does things really well.
He's been to Alaska, Hawaii, and Mediterranean.
So not Caribbean.
Well, I know that he was interested in a cruise in September.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
and
better get that request in quick though.
You should probably get in on that.
May want to get on the boss's good side before you do that though, because she'll be like, "You're going on a cruise with the man." But no, but yeah. So Disney apparently has a very good a system of keeping the kid and adult stuff flowing smoothly. But personally, that is still, until I experience it, that would be a little bit of a concern for me. Then the fact that Disney cruises are like 2 to 3 times higher price than other cruises. So I'm sure that they offer a lot more value because they're Disney. And everything we've heard about Disney cruises is that they're amazing. Just like everything else Disney does, they don't forget any little detail. But I don't necessarily need all those details. I'd rather save some money and cruise more, but I will try them out at some point.
Yeah, the Celebrity Edge has cleared the port and is in open water.
Oh, did Stacey tell us that? Thank you, Stacey. All right, a big hoorah! Hey, now we got Ian from Australia. This is like more Australian people than American people on here at some point, which I'm okay with.
It's 8:30 a.m. on Sunday, so they're all just waking up.
The Sunday morning, yeah.
Yeah, Sunday morning. Check your YouTube. Jump on the Fintastic Studios, Fintastic Cruising Podcast. I mean, that works, right?
Yeah.
What else do we have? Lots of.
Dave says that. He's talking about the Sydney ferries. SS stands for seasick. Across the harbor out near the islands. Yeah, but do you see that? Is it really cool to see the Sydney Opera House on that trip? That would be pretty cool.
Huh. Right? Robert says on his Carnival cruise, the kids ran riot until the wee hours with no security, and that had never happened on Royal. I haven't experienced that either.
No, I haven't
I've
either.
Seen kids here and there, but nothing that's ruined my cruise.
I think though it's going to be like anything else. Depends on you get the wrong family or group of kids, and then it depends on the ship and how strict they are and how aware they are, how many people are complaining about it. I've seen videos on YouTube of kids that were being kind of obnoxious on cruise ships, but luckily I haven't experienced it myself. The only problem I've experienced with other passengers on a cruise ship that was a real legitimate concern was from probably like a early to mid 20 something who was next to me on the Carnival Vista and was just like fighting with his wife, fiance, whatever it was. Like instantly his like mother-in-law was offering to buy me drinks before they even saw me, and before they even saw the ones who were being obnoxious. and she's like, I just got to buy a drink because I got to apologize because my son-in-law and daughter are going to like fight and scream and cuss at each other. And this was on the Vista and the Cabana suites where you got the little backyard. So we couldn't enjoy that because they were out there screaming at each other. And you'd see him at the bar, like he'd be sitting at the Alchemy bar and just had, that look that people have when they just want to get into a fight with somebody. Like every time I saw this guy, he had that look like he was just miserable, scowling, just watching people, just daring them with his eyes just to start problems. And, that's the only person I've ever really had issues with. I didn't have any run-ins with him because I just stayed far away from that myself.
So I just have to point this out. I just realized that you put our name as Kimbra, which is why Dan said
that's why
Kimbra.
we had that.
I know. I literally just realized that it said Kimbra because I always write Kimbra and Matt, and I forgot that we're not using my camera.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways, that's off subject. Mike is on.
Hey, Mike.
And maybe Michelle and Anthony. And if you are all here, hello. And if you are not all here, then hello to whoever is here.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's see.
We are going to try to go to Volcano Bay tomorrow.
Yes.
That's the plan. Now, Mike, go and check out Lovey's Fat Life on YouTube. They did a Florida trip, and one of the places they went was to Volcano Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's only one video out so far, Mike, right? But I think you've got more in the pipe. Sorry if you don't. And I just set you up. So now you're going to come back and have to film if you don't. But I think you do. So yeah. So check out their channel and lots of other fun Florida stuff. I think there's even some videos that are going to come out that we might be in. I think they might have vlogged the aquarium and stuff like that.
I think he
we
said
got
he
to
was
have
working
dinner
on
with
that
them
one.
and stuff. So
yeah.
that was
Random question, Mike, if you happen to have the answer, just because I'm thinking about it right now. The tapu tapu thing at Volcano Bay, do you have to like stand in line to get that? I just want to know because we're trying to figure out what time we need to get there.
Yeah, we want to get there early. We have passes and everything. Yeah, so Anthony is Mike and Michelle's kid.
Yes,
and
he's
10 years old. Now, Anthony is a great kid. Those of you that do know Lovey's Fat Life know Anthony because he's in a lot of the videos. If all kids were like Anthony,
there would be no problem.
Yes, and I would feel guilty getting paid to do my job, but they're not. Oh, no, they're not. No, Anthony is a great, great kid. And he does have some more Volcano Bay videos coming out. So go check those out. Volcano Bay, if you're not sure, you're like, why are they talking about volcanoes? Is this because Mom and Tammy's in Hawaii? No, this is a water park in Orlando that is owned by Universal Studios. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So everyone gets the tapu tapu at the beginning, and he recommends to show up an hour before we want to get in.
Oh, okay.
Well, then we're leaving at 6.
Oh. Okay.
All right. Well, that's cool. You plan on either do it with the app download in advance. Good to know.
That is good to know. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll probably get there and be totally unprepared for everything. But that's okay.
If you plan on eating there, do it with the app.
Yes,
is that what you just read?
Yeah,
because when we were at Universal Studios last week, it was crazy. Like we had to wait so long just to get food, and it was bad.
It was
bad,
crazy. We were talking about something else. I don't remember what it was.
It's the Universal Studios.
Yeah, we have that app, so we're good there.
Good to know.
Yeah, so we recently got annual passes for Universal. We did the 3 parks so that we can do the 2 normal parks and then Volcano Bay as well. And we have blackout dates starting in July. So since this is the end of June, we're gonna get 1 Volcano Bay visit in before we can't go for a month and a half.
Yes, and then hopefully we may not get to do much, but that's okay because we got the pass. So.
Yeah, that's fine. Not worried about it. I mean, we'll go jump in the lazy river and spend time in there if that's what we have to do.
Dan says he's got a big volcano right by him. That's what, Mount St. Helens? Is that what you got by you, Dan? Cool. I remember when Mount St. Helens erupted when I was a kid, and then somebody traveled out there that, like, I don't know. I don't remember if I knew them or they knew somebody, and they brought back ash from Mount St. Helens. That was a thing. It's like people would bring back ash from Mount St. Helens. That's how big of a deal it was that Mount St. Helens erupted. And then it's like the other thing, like I remember when people were bringing back pieces of the Berlin Wall, because when the Berlin Wall came down in '89. That was a big deal as well.
Mount Rainier.
Oh, Mount Rainier.
Rainier?
Is it Mount St. Helens? Isn't that one out there? Maybe that's a different area. I just know it's somewhere over there.
Cool.
Cool. Okay. We got any more news or anything?
That's all I had written in my notes.
Okay.
Unless you want to talk about what we've been obsessed with for the last few days.
We'll save that.
Okay.
Let's get into.
You want to do the thing?
Yeah, we'll do our thing. Hey, we're back. That was so quick. I turned my head for a second, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're back on. So today's cruise creature is the snake eel. Not actually an eel or a snake. That's confusing.
Like the electric fish.
Like the seahorse. Isn't the sea
eel.
or a horse? The electric eel is actually not an eel either.
Fish.
It's a knife fish.
Which is also not a knife.
But it is electric at least. Boogie woogie oogie. Boogie woogie. It's electric. Boogie boogie boogie. Anyway. No, but the snake eel, and the reason I'm looking down is because I have some pictures of them, which I'm going to try. We're going to go real low tech. If you're listening in.
I can look one up.
You can look at, and just put it up there. So the reason I wanted to do snake eels today is because, well, not specifically today, but just wanted to cover them, is because I see occasionally people see snake eels in the Caribbean, and they think that they are either moray eels, which they are not, or they more often they think they are sea snakes, which they are not.
Like this one?
That is a sea snake.
Well, why did it come up there?
That is an actual sea snake. See, this is the problem. She Googled snake eel, and a banded sea snake came up. That's a snake. That's an actual snake. Snake eels are fish. So, well, what's the difference? They're long, skinny fish. Well, to be a fish, you need to have, you don't have to have scales, although most of them do, but more eels, no scales.
This one?
That one is, yes.
Okay, great. I will bring up this one.
But you have to have gills. So that's a fish thing. Reptiles, snakes are reptiles, they have lungs. Usually 2, sometimes 1, but usually one's bigger, one's smaller. They use them both. Anyway, fish, gills. And the snake eel, so it's got some of the same characteristics of a snake or an eel, but it is just a different type of fish, more close to an eel, because eel's kind of a common term we use to describe a lot of things that aren't eels, that have that general shape to them. But I think the reason that people mistake these for snakes more than they mistake moray eels for snakes, because people don't tend to do that, is because of where they live. So these guys are on the bottom, and they're usually swimming. A lot of times I've seen them in seagrass or rubble areas, and there's different species, so they can have spots like this or oscillated spots, which are kind of rings and stuff, but they move like a snake, and they're usually moving around. Like moray eels, most of the time when I see them, they're like stuck in a spot with their head sticking out, and they're doing that open and closed mouth to breathe. Snake eels don't really do that. They are usually on the go, or they're hiding, you don't see them. And so they act more like you would expect a snake to if a snake lived on the bottom of the sea. But they don't. I mean, sea snakes don't even really technically live on the bottom of the sea. But they're fish, so they do breathe the water, or they get the oxygen from the water with their gills, and they're able to drink the water. Unlike sea snakes, which actually have to go up to the surface after it rains and siphon fresh water off the surface. So they are a bit different. There are no sea snakes really in the Caribbean. There's only one species in all of, and I know I covered this a couple of weeks ago, I think, a few weeks ago. But there's only one sea snake species that's even in the Atlantic Ocean for the most part. The rest are all Pacific, Indian Ocean, places like that. So if you see a snake-like creature underwater in salt water, it's probably a snake eel, but it could be a moray eel, it could be a couple other things, could be a snake, but probably not. Snake eel. Now, they're down on the bottom, they like to eat things, and they are going to eat a lot of crustaceans, things like, some of them really specialize in eating mantis shrimps, which is another cool creature, but they'll also eat things that just small things they find on the bottom. They'll even eat like sea urchins and stuff like that. So you showed them picture of them, so I don't have to show them all these pictures because
I can find
they saw
another
better.
one.
Let me just see what it looks like here. This is a book that I use for a lot of my
That's pretty
reference, and these are some of the common species. This one right here is the species that I have encountered most
good.
often.
Is it not the one that I showed?
I think it's the same. I think it's the same species. It might be. I've also seen the sharp-tail eel, which is the one right next to it.
A spotted one.
Yeah. So this is gold spotted. So there's a bunch of different species that may not even be a Caribbean species, but they look very similar, and there's a lot of variability as far as their markings go. But yeah, that's the snake eel. And by the way, this is the book I'm talking about. This is actually the small condensed version. It comes in a big, thicker version that's got more information, but this has all the pictures. If you want a good book for identifying reef fish of the Caribbean, this is a great book. And if you want more detail, get the thicker one. It's a little more expensive. This one's actually kind of waterproof too, though, so that's kind of nice. You take it on a boat with you or something. And they do make ones for different regions of the world, and they also make ones for animals that are not fish, but not in this format. They're just in the bigger format. But this is Caribbean, Bahamas, and South Florida, and that's going to cover not every fish that you could possibly see, but it's going to cover probably 99.59%. I don't know.
I've learned a lot of my fish from that book.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Cool.
What else we got in the Mount St. Helens is 113 miles from Dan, from Seattle. Rainier is about 80. So it is. So
they're both kind of.
I'm not crazy. It is in that general vicinity. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then I saw something from Dave. Dave said he brought home 5 extra kilos on his last cruise. That was his souvenir. What's interesting is I don't typically gain weight on a cruise. Mm-mm. I'm pretty sure I gained quite a bit of weight on this vacation we just had.
And we did a lot of walking.
We did a lot of eating too.
We did.
We ate a lot.
But we walk every day at work.
We do.
So,
yeah, that's true. So that's probably not doing that much more than from what we normally do. But there's life adventures with Pam and Rich. Hey guys,
cool.
They're our neighbors from just a little bit.
Matt is snorkeling at the aquarium opening again. No, it is not.
No, not yet.
I know that there is conversations about it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's coming back pretty soon.
My guess, I have not been in any part of these conversations, but my guess, based on when some other things are kind of slated to come back, is October. But don't take my word on that. I have no idea.
Yeah, we know nothing.
I know nothing. But based on some other stuff, so we go on fiscal year. So our fiscal year starts in October. And I'm thinking that they're trying to start our new fiscal year with some of the stuff coming back. But again, don't take my word on it. I don't know that.
There's a lot that has to happen for that to start up again. It's not even just like COVID regulations, but also just like training and staffing and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
so there's a lot of planning that has to go into it. But I'm pretty sure that it's going to happen again at some point. I know it's coming back. They wanted to bring it back. Hopefully diving too.
I think they're trying to put it into the other system again. So they have to work through that. And I'm the one that has to book it. So I need a staff member first before they add one more thing to the things I have to do.
So, Rich, we will try and remember when it does open, we will try and remember to shoot you a text or something to let you. But keep asking us in case we forget or something like that. Crystal wants to go so bad. She has to heal up from her surgery first. October should be good. Then hopefully that'll be the day then. Yeah, and if you're wondering what we're talking about, so the Florida Aquarium where we work, in the past we've done, technically it's actually scuba gear, but you stay, if you're not scuba certified, you stay at the surface and you get to experience our coral reef habitat and swim with the sharks, and there's been different sort of versions of it, and I don't know exactly what it's going to look like when it comes back, but you get to get into a habitat with a bunch of animals with scuba gear up at the surface, and it is really cool. And then if you are scuba certified, then in the past, and I'm hopeful that they'll bring this back as well, you can actually dive in the aquarium. I've done that 3 times.
We've done it 2 times.
Yes, we did it once together.
We did.
Right?
And then I did
Brian.
it another time.
I don't know if Brian's still with Brian.
Yeah.
So, So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Pretty cool.
We saw what the sharks when we visited.
Yes, Dave, when you were
I guess
here,
I should say that out loud.
Yeah, Dave's asking if those are people who saw at the sharks. Yes. So I'm sure that's what it was. So we do have volunteers that dive at the aquarium, as well as staff that dives at the aquarium. The staff can be doing all sorts of things in there at any given point, but volunteers, if you see them, they'll be scrubbing stuff or working with other people that are scrubbing stuff. But if you see somebody just leisurely hanging out, well, that's a guest.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right, we are towards the end. Are you ready, or do you have anything else?
I don't know. Let's put it out to the chat before we go.
Okay.
Because we have managed to talk for almost an hour.
We did pretty good.
If you guys have any questions out there that we can answer for you guys, or comments, I know somebody was in here earlier from Texas who had been on a cruise. Any observations you've made? This is your time.
How many days until your next cruise?
Yeah, let's find out how many days people have until they're cruising again. Because
Dave said dreadful about the building collapse. Yes,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was awful.
Yeah, man, what a tragedy.
Yeah,
We don't even know
good.
what the tragedy is completely yet. But man,
last
that
I
was
heard, wasn't looking good.
No, he's talking about in
Miami.
there was like a condo that just
A
collapsed.
12-story condo, yeah.
Oh,
Austin,
202 days for Stacy.
Austin said he wants to help for sure. I don't know what we said that he wants to
I
help
think
with.
at the aquarium, because Austin
Right.
is starting at the aquarium
Tuesday. Yeah.
Austin and Austin's in the chat here. Austin started with me as a volunteer at the Science Center I used to work at when he was a wee young lad. And he was the only teen that I kept on because the others were all pains in the ass. But he ended up being a great asset. And Austin is kind of like Junior Matt, basically. I mean, he's a lot like me, only he's more fit and more mechanically inclined. But other than that,
Younger.
he's a lot like me. Yeah. Yes. He's younger. Yes. He's Kimbra's age. So, but then he ended up working at the Science Center, and then he went to college, and now he has graduated from college, and he is coming to work at the aquarium, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, very cool.
So Stacy said 202 days. Mike says October 30th on the Lalita Loca group cruise.
Oh, nice.
Dave has Hawaii to Sydney booked for October 2022. 19 nights. Never been to Hawaii. Very cool.
Dave, are you going on the Down Under Cruisers group cruise? We need to know.
Pam and Rich says Enchanted Princess for Pam and Crystal in December.
Nice.
December.
Nice.
Yeah, we have 83 days and 153 days.
Robert says his sailing from Sydney to Hawaii is 95 days out, but it's about to be canceled. That sucks. I'm sorry.
No, Hawaii to Sydney.
Hawaii to Sydney.
Yeah.
But that just sucks. I hope you guys. Who knows though? I mean, things can change really fast. If is what we're seeing here. Hopefully, minus any weird variants that start wrecking our world again. But
Dan says his future mom-in-law saw a peacock mantis shrimp. Said it looked very pretty.
Oh yes,
yeah,
those are
cool.
Those are big, colorful. Mantis shrimp are crazy. Hey, speaking of the Down Under Cruises,
I know. I feel like he heard you say something.
I was like, Dave, are you going to go on that cruise with the Down Under Cruisers? And all of a sudden, Sean comes in, like he was just lurking there, waiting.
He was just waiting to hear Down Under, and he's like, oh, here I am.
Life event. Oh yeah, the Virgin. Oh, Virgin in January. Okay, so you got a December and a January.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah, we're on Virgin on Black Friday. We get out, so no shopping for us.
That's okay by me.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can shop while looking at the water. Cool. You got anything else?
I got nothing else.
Nothing else?
No, I got nothing else.
All right. Well,
this is a fun episode, though. Enjoy doing this. It's nice to be able to interact with the chat a little bit on these. Hopefully, those of you listening to the podcast in the future were okay with that because we enjoyed it. And make sure to look for when we are going live on YouTube if you do want to get into the chat and enjoy the podcast.
hit the thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell.
All that stuff.
All
the YouTube stuff. Yep.
And if you're just listening on the podcast, go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review. Say some words, 5 stars.
Don't say 5 stars.
No. Give us 5 stars.
I mean, you can if you want.
Yeah,
you can say whatever you want. No, we don't want to influence you. Anyway, we're not going to bribe you or anything like that.
Awesome. Do you have anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Awesome. Well, on that note, it's time to head for the horizon. And until next time, seize the day.
Have a fantastic week, everybody. All right, we're back for a few minutes more of the podcast portion. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Thanks for all of our Australian friends for coming on today, and everybody else. We love you as well. But always cool to get that Oz. And our hearts go out to you guys. Hopefully, like we've said many times, you guys can get cruising again and stop being locked down and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had something I was going to say, and I totally forgot what it was.
Were you going to talk about what we've been doing or other stuff? Or
we can, yeah. I mean,
it's not that exciting, but
I don't know that we have that audience right now. So we have
okay.
Well, we have Tony in here, but so we have many hobbies, Kimbra and I, and so and they sort of take turns. Obviously the underwater stuff is a hobby, the photography is a hobby, the art is a hobby. And the cricketing is a hobby. And, of course, the podcast is a hobby. And cruising, it's not really a hobby. But we are also big nerds. And lately we've been pining for some role-playing games. And people we were playing games with have been busy moving to a new house and stuff. So we haven't been able to do that until we watched a video of merely 2 people playing Dungeons & Dragons. And Kimbra said, "Oh, so that means we can play Dungeons and Dragons, right?" And so we started doing this one-on-one game. I know some of you, like Tony, expressed interest in that. Maybe Dan too. I don't know. In us doing like a virtual game, but quite frankly, I would have to run it, and I need a little bit of a refresher and experience to get me confident and comfortable running a game. So that's maybe what's going to happen is I'll get that confidence and comfort, and maybe we'll look back into that.
Yes. And you said all the things. Our light just went off. Did you see the shadow come in?
Yes. That was the snake light from over there, which our snake is very active right now.
Is she crawling into her water bowl? Crawling. She wouldn't be crawling. She doesn't have legs.
Yeah, I know, Mike. We have too many hobbies. And what happens is that we don't have time to do all those hobbies. So what happens is they kind of ebb and flow, as the case may be. And this week, this latter half of this week, the Dungeons and Dragons has been ebbing or flowing. Which is the ebb and which is the flow? It's been...
Well, ebb, it would be flow, because flow is
it's flowing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's that. Yeah. Let's see if our lizard's awake.
Is she?
No, she's not awake.
Oh.
But Zilly Girl is.
Yeah, you gonna get her out?
I'll see if she doesn't try and kill me. Let's see.
Well, if you lose a couple fingers, at least you still have a couple more.
I don't know if Austin's still on here. He's familiar with these snakes. Oh, she's gonna hold on with her tail.
Yeah, she is.
Come on. Come on, little
Stacy said D&D was huge when he was a kid, and he played once.
Oh,
And Dan said he'd be down to play.
cool. Yeah, we'll get Zilly the carpet python. I mean, there's so many people from Australia. We might as well share our Australian snake today, right?
That's right. Sean said you could always role play coming on.
So the game that we were playing in with our friends that have been moving and stuff, my character was actually inspired by Australia. Had my attempt at an Australian accent and was basically a little halfing like, "Oh, did you see that?" She didn't like that, and she's feisty.
Oh, she's
Look at
mad.
that. And anyway, is a little hobbit, type character.
You gonna do it again? Wave your hand at her?
No, I don't want to scare her. And had like a boomerang and stuff. Oh, something is making her really angry over there.
You're waving your hand at her.
I'm stopped waving it.
Don't face her at your face.
Here, let me just get her with this hand.
Oh, good. So she'll come at me.
She's not gonna come at you. Good thing your mom's not watching.
I know.
She is a beauty for sure. I don't know why she's being so cranky. She hasn't been that cranky lately.
No, maybe she doesn't like being on camera.
Maybe are you camera shy, Zilly? She's also really active. She's very hungry, so that might be a food thing because she is due to eat today or tomorrow.
Yeah, she was in her water bowl too. Did you pull her out of there? Maybe she was trying to
not
soak.
Completely. She just shed recently.
Yeah.
All right. Look at this camera angle. Let's see if she'll probably see the camera and try and.
No, she's not having it now. There she goes.
Whoa.
Strike at the camera. She's looking at it.
She looks really big now,
Yeah,
right?
she looks huge. Aussies don't like being woken, just saying.
Yeah, she was awake though. All right, I'm gonna put her back.
Yeah, she's
not
obviously
in a mood. I think she's okay now. I think I just startled her with my hand.
Oh, Austin said he's still here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, she's crawling out.
When I told Austin we got a carpet python, he was like, "Those things are unpredictable." I think that was it. At one point, he was like, "Carpet pythons just bite you randomly." I said, "No, they don't."
Mike said, if she struck at the camera, that would be a great short.
Cool.
Cool.
You want to come make an appearance, Reno? Reno. Here we go.
Look at the camera. Here.
I'm not the camera.
Follow my finger. Follow my finger. He does that.
Why is your foot wet?
He's been licking his leg.
Oh, his leg is wet. See, he's a scuba dog, but he's terrified of the water.
He does have a life jacket, though.
He does. Reno is going to hate next weekend. He is terrified of fireworks.
Oh, yeah. We don't get to go do anything because of the dog. So we will sit at home while he cuddles up on the couch between us and shakes for hours. Are you ready to shake? Dan said, "Where's Guinness?" Guinness is over there.
I don't see her. I think she's
Yeah,
sleeping.
she's there. Her head's out.
Is that her head?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She needs to eat too.
Yeah.
All of our animals need to eat, except for Luna. Luna the lizard ate yesterday a big meal, and then today she was scratching around, and we've come to discover that her scratching around means she either wants to eat or she wants to poop. She does not like to poop in her cage. She hates that. So when she scratches around and we know she's not hungry, which she didn't even want to eat today. Like I tried to give her grapes and she was like, no. But she did come out and she pooped on the floor, which is where we like that to happen because it's like a vinyl floor. We clean up really easily. And then she snuggled with us for a minute and then we put her back.
Yeah.
So,
at least it wasn't on me this time.
All right.
All right.
Are you done?
Me
Yeah.
or him? Oh, him.
Are you done? Should we wrap up? We've been on for a little over an hour.
Yeah,
it's
been a bit of time.
Say goodnight, everybody.
I mean, it's so early for good night.
Well, that's true. It's only 7 o'clock.
Enjoy your dinner.
Good morning if you're in Australia.
Yeah,
or whenever you're. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we are gonna say ciao, as Ian put it, and thank you guys again for tuning in. And we'll probably try to do Friday of next week again, I suspect.
Yeah, I would like to go back to doing Fridays. I think Friday typically works well when we're prepared.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, good night, everybody. Good morning, good day, good whatever.
Good time.